So this is the trial, and the book does a very good job of like kind of bleeding.
He's captured in 2011.
He's
right?
captured in 2011. The trial is 2012. 2013.
Right.
Yes. And the book does a very good job of like, with each person that goes on the witness stand, it's almost like a new chapter of Whitey Bulger's life is unveiling. A new chapter of just like history of organized crime in Boston is kind of being unveiled. And I mean, it is about the trial, but you very much get the sense of his rise to power like throughout like witness testimony.
Right.
It's also during the trial, like why he's very old. He's in his 90s when he
83.
He's 83, and he's very much sits there like he's this mythic figure. Which is strange because like he's this old man. He's silent for most of the trial, except he screams "fuck you" to Kevin Weeks.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Weeks was his right-hand man who, you know, testified against him.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very much
as they
like,
all do. They all turn into rats.
Stephen Fleming turns into a rat. Kevin Weeks does.
I don't understand. So Steve Fleming got like the raw end of the deal sort of thing. I mean, he's a piece of shit. He should rot in hell. Don't get me wrong.
He got life in prison.
No, I know. But my point is like they wheel him out for all these like trials. He's basically becomes like a professional witness for the government. And it's like, but you have life in prison. So
I mean,
I guess they say
I'm sure he's getting treated better than other prisoners.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, Whitey Bulger died because someone got him.
They let him into general. They let him into general population, and on day one of him being in general population, I believe
he gets his eyes popped out.
He got beaten with like a. I guess they put like a. I think they put like a chain, or like some kind of lock in a sock. I don't know how the fuck you get a lock in prison, but
yeah.
We mentioned the guy who killed him once because he was also
he was in the Genovese family, but he was never made because he was Greek.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he was part of Anthony Arulata's crew, who was a made Genovese captain in Springfield, Massachusetts area. So it's just interesting because I would just imagine that those guys growing up, like, because they were in the like early 2000s. Like that crew, Anthony Arulata was running around, so I could just imagine they were all like, yeah, like Whitey Bulger's the ultimate rat, and then like one day
they get
you're face to face with him in prison, and that's what happens. I mean, that's such a fitting end for him. I just can't imagine.
He deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say anyone deserves that, but if there's anyone who does deserve it, I guess it's him. But I can't. Could you imagine being 83 fucking years old and getting your fucking head bashed in?
Terrible. Well, not terrible because fuck him. One of the more disgusting things that he did was there's a story of there was a Catholic school in Boston that would let Whitey Bulger like through like a secret compartment in the wall look at the young girls while they were changing.
That's fucking insane.
He was a disgusting person.
Sure.
And Steve Fleming too, because he had a relationship with a teenager who ended up getting murdered by Whitey Bulger because they were afraid that she knew too much.
And they buried her like in the basement.
They buried her in the basement of a house. Yes. But that
I never understand that move. By the way, like whose house was it? First of all.
I don't know whose house it was. I think it was just an empty house that...
Yeah, I just don't understand burying someone under a house.
Well, if you believe what happened in The Irishman, that's what happened to Jimmy Hoffa, too. Yeah. I know that you don't really take everything...
It's not me. I mean, a lot of people say that movie was kind of fiction, but...
Right, but not even talking about the movie. I mean, with Frank Sheeran's book, like, that's what he says. Like, it's a house in Detroit that we buried him under.
Yeah.
Also, I mean...
That house is going to be fucking haunted.
Yeah.
Haunted houses are real, people.
The story of Deborah Davis, who is Stephen Fleming's teenage girlfriend, who they said that Whitey Bulger strangled her to death.
Deborah Davis or Deborah Hussey?
They were both Stephen Fleming's girlfriends.
Right.
Who both allegedly... Well, not alleged. I mean, it He was found guilty in court. But I never really believed that story that Whitey did it. I always thought that was Stephen Flemmi, because the idea of just your girlfriend, girlfriend knows too much, so he has to have to kill her. Like, just it never like seemed as a convincing enough motive.
I don't know. I could see that.
I don't know. I think that it's much more that Stephen Flemmi was a violent guy who killed 2 of his girlfriends.
Sure.
Who wanted to pin it on Bulger.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't
be surprised either way, man.
No, I would not be surprised. And even if it was Stephen Flemmi and not Whitey Bulger, it does not take away of how much of a dirtbag that this guy was.
Yeah.